software engineers get the ball rolling as they wait for quantum computers to arrive, a number of public Salesforce sites leak private data, and the first wooden transistor is here. These top tech news stories and more for Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. I'm your guest host, James Roy. We've heard a lot about the endless superpowers of quantum computers, be it to revolutionize medical research or solve climate change. Millions are being poured into these machines, hailed as being 1,000,000 times faster than today's fastest computers. But they are yet to hit the market. However, quantum startups are getting creative despite lacking these powerful computers. QCware is a software startup initially focused only on software that could run on quantum computers. But the company now has said it needed to change tack to find a solution until the future quantum machines arrive. Investors are not shying away either, despite the dismal stock performance of publicly listed quantum computer companies. QCware, in fact, raised more than $33 million. What these startups are doing is nothing short of brilliant. They're developing a new breed of software inspired by algorithms used in quantum physics, which is a branch of science that studies the fundamental building blocks of nature. These algorithms, once too big for conventional computers, are being put to work thanks to today's powerful artificial intelligence chips. QCware CEO Matt Johnson said it turned to NVIDIA's GPUs to figure out how we can get them something that is a big step change in performance and build a bridge to quantum processing in the future. This week, QCware is unveiling a quantum-inspired software platform called Prometheum. It will simulate chemical molecules to see how they interact with things like protein on a traditional computer using GPUs. The company's head of quantum chemistry said the software can cut simulation time from hours to minutes for molecules of 100 atoms and months to hours for molecules of up to 2,000 atoms, compared with existing software solutions. According to a report by Krebs on security, a number of organizations, including banks, healthcare, and government agencies, are leaking private and sensitive information through their public Salesforce community websites. Reportedly, the leaking stems from a misconfiguration in Salesforce community that allows an unauthenticated user to access records that should only be available after logging in. Salesforce Community is a widely used cloud-based software that makes it easy for organizations to create websites. Customers can access a Salesforce Community website by either logging in or through guest user access, which allows unauthenticated users to view specific content and resources without logging in. But sometimes, Salesforce administrators also mistakenly grant users access to internal resources, which can cause unauthorized access and data leaks. The state of Vermont, for instance, allowed guest access to sensitive data to at least 5 separate Salesforce community websites, including one for a pandemic unemployment assistance program that exposed applicants' full name, SIN number, phone number, bank account number, and more. Vermont's Chief Information Security Officer Scott Carby said, "During the pandemic, we were largely standing up tons of applications, and let's say just a lot of them didn't have the full benefit of our DevOps process. In our case, we didn't have a native Salesforce developer when we suddenly had to stand up all these sites." But Carby also denounced the permissive nature of the platform. On Monday, Krebs on Security notified Washington, D.C. city administrators that at least 5 different public D.C. health websites were leaking sensitive information. Interim CISO Mike Rupert said the district had hired a third party to investigate, and it revealed that the district's IT systems were not vulnerable to data loss. But after being presented with a document including the social security number of a health professional in D.C. that was downloaded in real time from the D.C. Health Public Salesforce website, Rupert acknowledged that his team had overlooked some configuration settings. Meanwhile, Salesforce maintains that the data exposures are not the result of a vulnerability inherent to Salesforce, but occur when customers' access control permissions are misconfigured. In a written statement, Salesforce said it is actively focused on data security for organizations with guest users, and that it continues to release robust tools and guidance for our customers. The Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, has a new proposed rule to fight the absolute headache that canceling subscriptions can be. The proposed provision, Click to Cancel, seeks to make it as easy to cancel enrollment as it was to sign up. FTC Chair Lena M. Khan said, "Some businesses too often trick consumers into paying for subscriptions they no longer want or didn't sign up for in the first place. The proposal would save consumers time and money, and businesses that continue to use subscription tricks and traps would be subject to stiff penalties." The new proposal will mandate a simple cancellation mechanism. For instance, if you signed up online, you must be able to cancel on the same website in the same number of steps. Secondly, the proposal would require sellers to ask customers whether they want to be pitched other offers upon cancellation. Sellers must take no for an answer if that's the case, and immediately expedite the cancellation process. Finally, and that no doubt will be helpful to many of us, the proposed rule would require sellers to provide an annual reminder to consumers enrolled in subscriptions before they're automatically renewed. Akash Nigam, CEO of avatar technology company Genies, revealed to Insider that he's spending $2,400 a month on ChatGPT accounts for all 120 of his employees as part of an experiment to boost productivity. Nigam says he is already seeing stuff getting done faster. He said that Genie's R&D team, for instance, has used ChatGPT to answer math and coding questions, get advice on how to debug code, and generate scripts for presentations based on outlines. Other employees have used it to generate creative briefs, write legal documents, and answer technical questions. Not everyone is using ChatGPT, but he's encouraging everyone to make learning the technology a priority. Employees who are more productive as a result of using ChatGPT will be up for a raise or a promotion. Others, he says, will fall behind. He also believes that the use of technology can help his company reduce costs, as he'll need to hire fewer employees. Genies is not the only company diving headfirst with ChatGPT. Amazon, Microsoft, and design firm Pure Fusion Media have also strongly encouraged employees to use AI. The link between increased cyber threats and AI, however, remains unclear. Some say it might be overblown. John Dwyer, head of research at IBM Security X-Force, told Axios, "Cyber criminals are often looking for the simplest, quickest schemes to make money, and bringing today's AI into play doesn't fit that bill. If anything, it's cyber defenders who will exploit AI to counter the run-of-the-mill security holes that criminals keep exploiting." Palo Alto Networks and Mandiant are the big names already playing around with ChatGPT and other AI tools to improve their security products. Michael Sikorsky, CTO of Palo Alto Networks' threat intelligence team, revealed that most of the malicious code spewed by AI tools is repurposed from previous attacks. He adds, "Maybe they're faster, but they're not new. And it's definitely not trained on how to write a zero-day or find or exploit a vulnerability." Plus, according to Chester Wisniewski, field CTO of applied research at Sophos, most hackers do not double up as data scientists or are not training the AI models themselves. They'll need to make enough money from the malicious AI for it to be worth it. But, Wisniewski says, the upside is the good guys do have data scientists, and many of us do spend millions of dollars in the cloud on GPUs. However, we still need to be wary. Many cyber criminals are using simple AI tools to get people to respond to phishing emails and scam texts. And many companies continue to suffer from attacks with already publicly known flaws that companies fail to patch. Rob Joyce, Director of Cybersecurity at the National Security Agency, said during the RSA conference, "I'll tell you, buckle up. Next year, if we're talking a similar year in review, we'll have a bunch of examples of where it's been used and where it's succeeded." Swedish researchers have built what they claim is the world's first wooden transistor. It's shaped like a T and made from 3 pieces of balsa wood. The top of the T served as the transistor channel, with a source at one end and a drain at the other, while the vertical portion of the T used 2 pieces of balsa with a gap between them to form the transistor's gate pieces. But before you start gathering your tools and your balsa wood, remember that in order to make the wood conductive, the researchers had to expose it to heat and use chemicals to replace the lignin with conductive polymer. Once filled with a polymer and assembled, the Swedish team achieved conductivity for up to 69 SM1 and were able to prove the device's effectiveness as a double-gate organic electrochemical transistor with a functional on-off switch. Previous wooden transistors could only regulate ions transport and would stop functioning once the ions ran out. This one does not work like that and still functions without deteriorating. But unfortunately, this breakthrough is not going to revolutionize the semiconductor industry. The balsa wood transistor is neither small nor fast. It's so slow it's unable to switch off under a second, and switching on takes a full 5 seconds. Not exactly supercomputing speeds. But for the researchers, this proves that it is possible to modulate the electrical conductivity of the electroactive wood by applying an external voltage. One of our listeners sent in a note about yesterday's story where we reported that Pornhub was pulling out of Utah. Apparently, searches for virtual private networks, VPNs, that allow people to disguise their location went off the charts. Probably a coincidence. Just a lot of folks trying to watch King Charles' coronation on BritBox. I mean, it's Utah. They wouldn't, would they? Thanks to Nemanja for that. We love your comments. Keep them coming. That's the top tech news for today. We go to air with a daily newscast 5 days a week, as well as a special weekend interview with an expert on topics relevant to today's tech news. Follow #trending on Google, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can even listen to us on your Alexa or Google smart speaker. You can find us as well on YouTube as Tech News Day. You can reach our CIO, Jim Love, on LinkedIn, Twitter, or on Mastodon as The Real Jim Love on our Mastodon site, technews.social. Or if that's too much, just leave a comment under the text version at itworldcanada.com/podcasts. Click the check mark or the X and you'll get to send a message that goes straight to Jim. I'm your host, James Roy. Have a wonderful Wednesday.